Hello, welcome back to Imperfect Words with Onyinye Mbata. Well, today we're going to be talking about something really interesting. But before we go into that, you already know what to do. All you have to do is to hit the subscribe button, right? It's just there. All you have to do is hit that button and then hit the other button for notification. So that way you get subscribed to this channel and you get a notification for every time I post a video. You should also give us some thumbs up, encourage us, well, encourage me. Leave a comment if you have something to say, and please share this video to other people. Okay, so let's get right into it. That was 2-3 days ago at work. I had to do some posters, and so I needed to use a paper cutter for the first time. I had never used a paper cutter before. I'm going to put an image here of a paper cutter if you don't know what it looks like. Well, a paper cutter basically is what it says, a paper cutter. It cuts papers into the right shape or form or size that you want. Now, for you to use a paper cutter, you have to be super careful because it has a very sharp blade. So you want to set the paper at the edge, just in the right spot you want it to cut, and then you hold the handle and move it down on the paper and it slices it off really good, really good. The blade is so sharp. I had never used a paper cutter before, so a colleague of mine showed me how to use the paper cutter, right? It was cool. I was like, wow, this is so cool. So I tried to cut the first paper and it was good. I saw it as something easy, but really I hadn't used it before, so I really had to focus, be careful so that I don't cut my fingers in the name of cutting the paper. And then I had to be careful to make sure that it cut a straight line and it cut what I needed it to cut. So I had a lot of papers to cut, so I kept cutting. I think when I got to maybe the fourth or the fifth paper, I kind of just chilled. I know how to handle this stuff. This is easy peasy. So I start cutting, but this time I'm not paying attention. I'm not even, there's a kind of posture you would have to adopt to be able to control the blade. So because it was on a table, right? So when I got to the fourth or the fifth paper, I was just standing and just doing this, right? I'm an expert. Well, then I started noticing that because I wasn't focusing and I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't putting my focus and my energy into what I was doing, because now I thought I was good at it, I started making mistakes, right? So it started cutting the papers in awkward ways. I started messing up the edges. It wasn't cutting a clean line. So what I had to do was put another paper and now focus the same way I focused at the beginning when I was just learning how to use the paper cutter. And just there and then, when I realized that I had to refocus and put my energy to it like I did at the beginning, I realized that it started cutting the right way, clean cuts, just the way I needed it to be. Then it hit me. I could make a video out of this paper cutter. And yes, here I am with a video from a paper cutter experience that I had 3-4 days ago. So what am I saying actually? I think that most times, many of us are like me in relation to this paper cutter. We get to a point where we feel so relaxed and we don't try anymore. We don't put effort anymore. We don't put energy. We don't focus. We don't try to do better. And when we get to that point, we realize that something that we used to do at the beginning and do well no longer goes well. And that happens in a lot of situations in life. It can be in your job. It can be in your relationship, in your marriage, in your friendship. It can be in your hobbies. It can be in a sport. It can be in your diet. It can be in anything at all, your health. So, for example, you at the beginning of your marriage used to put so much interest, used to be so intentional, so much energy and focus into making your spouse happy, into just building a very healthy and beautiful marriage. After some years in the marriage, after some years of being with this person, you think, oh, he belongs to me or she belongs to me. I know him too well. I know her too well. You feel like there is no need for you to put effort. You feel like there's no need for you to dress up anymore. You feel like there's no need for you to say nice things to this person. You feel like there's no need for you to give those random hugs, send those random I love you texts. And before you know it, your relationship begins to like die down, begins to like just degenerate, and you're wondering what happened. What happened was that you stopped putting the energy and the focus into it, so it started becoming something else. It happens in your job. At the beginning, you want a job, you're so excited, you're so emotional, you have all the interest in the world. When you spend 1, 2, 3 years in that job, you start feeling like, oh, I'm permanent here. Nobody can take my space. You're no longer studying to be better. You're no longer putting the effort you used to put at the beginning. You come in late. You do your job without interest. And then you realize that it's no longer yielding the same product as before. And you're beginning to wonder what happened. What happened was loss of interest. You relaxed. You began to think that you were there, right? And it happens with your health, with your diet, exercise, hobbies, sports. Sports is constant practice. If you stop practicing, you start messing up. Language. If you're learning a language and you don't practice, you forget. So life generally requires us to continue to make effort, to continue to show interest, to continue to want to advance, to want to be better. Right? So if you actually want your relationships to be better, if you have realized that something is wrong with your relationship, it's not what you used to be, then go back to the drawing board and see, what are you doing differently? Are you doing the same thing you were doing at the beginning? Right? Because you can't expect to get the same result if you've changed what you're doing, right? So try to focus. Let's not get to a point where we feel so relaxed and feel like we don't need to keep learning, we don't need to keep growing. We always have a space to grow. We always have a space to be better. At least to get the same results you were getting, even if you're not looking to get something better than what you had, but to get that result you've been getting, you will need to be consistent, right? Consistent in your effort, consistent in your interest, consistent in your energy. So if you're out there and your relationship, your health, your diet, your hobbies, your projects, your businesses are not going the way they used to go at the beginning, then you want to pause and you want to think, have I been distracted? Have I become overconfident? Have I stopped paying attention or putting the interest or effort I used to put in before? At the end of the day, it's all in your hands. If you want something to be better, it all depends on you. You work hard, you put all the effort that you need to put in, and you will get the results that you desire. Okay, so basically this was an inspiration I got from using a paper cutter, and I hope that it was useful to you, because I learned a lot from just using that paper cutter. I not only learned how to use a paper cutter, I learned that for me to continue to do great, I will have to continue to put great effort, great focus, great interest. So if you like what I've shared today, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, put on your notification, thumbs up, share this video, and let's have fun. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.